is your buddy, Peace and Harmony, with you here today. Much love going out to all the beautiful empowered harmonizers. And we are zooming in and focusing in on a great viewer question, and that is how to separate and stop the triggering effect of a narcissist or a really severe personality who triggers them into oblivion. In other words, they feel the tension, they're feeling constant anxiety, and they don't have the experience or the role model really to teach them how to have self-esteem and be separate and not be affected, not sort of give in and succumb to the tension or the provocation of this individual. So when we talk about manipulation, we're talking about someone who wants to have control over another. And this is not in your best interest. In other words, it's to get you out of your own comfort zone. It's to get you out of your own boundaries of self-esteem. In other words, how to value yourself and be empowered. To be empowered really means to be able to see things clearly and to be able to do things in the direction that gets you what you want, who you want to become, how you want to feel, and on that road to the good life, feeling happy, feeling fulfilled, being able to follow your dreams, be able to cease the anxiety, cease the depression, cease the problems that are keeping you unfulfilled, unhappy, being controlled by others in a negative fashion. You need to let go of the negativity. And this does not require, a switch, money, a certain title, a certain previous history. You need to be the role model and look onto others who are a role model that are able to live in this manner that is not triggered, indifferent to, and not affected in a negative way by these other manipulative people. And there's a very interesting sentence or statement that I came up with. It just dawned on me that self-expression is separation. Self-expression is separation. In other words, you need to separate yourself from the meaning that this person will throw or project onto you in order to get you down, in order to get you in a suppressed state, a succumbing state. And by suppressed, I mean submissive to, adherent to, or succumbing or giving into the very strong, manipulative, really sort of powerful tension that this person will distract you by. And notice the word distraction. Distraction means it's taking you off of the feeling, the path, the self-expression that you inherently have intrinsic within you. It's to, in other words, it is to get you off center, off base. Notice the word I said off versus on. So you need to get on your center and get on your self-expression and understand what distraction means and how to stop and control the distraction of these people, which of course is the trigger. So it's to understand the nature of being triggered, which is to understand at one point you learned this or you entered into this flawed thinking state because an other person imprinted this and caused you, or, you were learning to take that negative back seat. It's to keep you in a state of disempowerment and feeling angry, feeling isolated, feeling a sense of lack. And I call this negative orderly direction thinking. So this was imprinted in you like a habit. Think of the distraction of this tension like a bad habit that you assign negative meaning or association to. For example, you might say, I hate smokers. I hate, I think that that's a filthy habit. I feel sorry, for those people who are addicted to gambling. I see how addiction can ruin a person, a community, or a society because it injures their health or is injurious to their work ethic. So once you get this negative image in your mind, you need to anchor it into this dissociative, distracted state. In other words, you need to identify the trigger and say and develop the self-talk and the role of metacognition, which means you self-express, you separate yourself a little bit from the event where you're listening to your heart, which is the new space of your, massive energy, and will give and allow you the freedom to give yourself not only what you want to have, whether it's prosperity, income, self-expression, a new life, a new experience that is in the order of where you want to be, where your dream is really sort of fulfilling and getting you inspired and getting you jazzed and juiced up. It is to understand that what distraction is and what a trigger is. A trigger is a distraction and a reaction to a threatening stimulus. So this person, the things that they've said, the smear campaigns that they have engaged in, the looks, the provocation, all of that, if you can bundle it into one and say this is a distraction, and this is like the distraction is literally like a filthy habit that I am addicted to. And the addiction is ravaging me. The addiction is destroying me. And I don't want to be that addiction. I don't want to be that drug addict. I don't want to be disempowered by a meaningless trigger. So you need to assign new meaning to this individual. And even if it is powerful, such as this is a horrible trigger, in to understand the importance and the leverage and the gravity and the seriousness is to say, this will destroy my life. This will destroy my happiness. This will destroy my family. This will destroy how I feel. So you need to understand the seriousness and weightiness of the distraction and how lethal and how dangerous or destructive it is. And yes, this person will manipulate to win and to lose you and cause you, all sorts of moments of negativity that you do not need to engage in. It's important for you to understand that this is a learned habitual state that another individual engaged in so they can get you in a disempowered state. So it gives them the power. It gives them the limelight. It gives them the control. And just like if you get a negative image and then in your mind and then anchor it to this person. For example, we, all in the news, in all the Netflix, you can see in all the news, no matter really what country, there is an opiate addiction pandemic or epidemic rather, where kids especially are beginning to use heroin and meth and all these very horrific drugs which they're getting, and it's destroying their mentality. They're addicted. They are powerless. The drug is drugging them, like Napoleon Hill states. And they no longer the drink is drinking them. They're all consumed by it. And how disgusting, how it destroys their skin. They're living in the streets. They're living in these crack houses, etc. They are out of touch. They are out of reach also. Their addiction causes them to do very negative and very distasteful things, steal, etc. So if you can anchor in this manipulative individual or group of individuals into that negativity and see how horrific and how lethal and how destructive this entity can be to cause you this anxiety, is to say, it is to anchor the meaning that this is a distraction and I refuse to be distracted in this way, and anchor it that seriously and with that gravity and that amount of seriousness so that you can understand then to learn the skills to deal with this distraction. For number one, we talk about no contact. But what does that really mean? How do you get rid of this distraction? Well, namely, you get things out of your house that is tied to this individual. You stop the gallery of pictures. You stop the Facebook. You stop the emails. You get rid of that in its entirety. You turn your back on the distraction. If you physically have them in your environment, you unequivocally need to see through them in the transparency and the negativity that they really are. You need to give yourself the new self-belief that you have power over this and you have the ability and skill to shut them out, shut them down. Literally turn your gaze away and off them. Turn your sight away and off of them. Turn your back. Get rid of the emails. Oh, but then well, this means I'm a terrible person. Do you see how you have then, had these subconscious beliefs that are running the anxiety, that are running the disempowerment? In other words, you're giving them the upper hand and you're always taking the lower hand. If you allow this distraction to continue, it will erode your life. It'll erode your happiness. It will take you away from that refreshed, powerful feeling that I am and I can. And not only the I am, but who you become. Because once you liberate yourself from that distraction, get that addiction out and have that serious degree of profound anchoring. In other words, this is so horrible. This is making me so unattractive. I am not going to live the classy life. I'm not going to have the energy. I'm not going to have the health. I'm not going to have this smile if I keep up with this distraction. You literally need to scramble like a radio signal. This is actually a tool to deal with this image and the meaning that this person has assigned to you, because a trigger is nothing but a reflection of the meaning that you assign to it, and you're allowing that to perpetuate in your system, in your ecosystem, which is your body, mind, and spirit, and connects you to the divine infinite intelligence. Divine infinite intelligence. Think about what that really is, which is beyond really the scope of the human destruction. If you read the news, humans and their greed are destroying the environment through their pollution, through a mass of cars that are causing the carbon dioxide to seep into our beautiful oceans that cover 3/4 of our globe, and are seeping down 3 miles into the ocean floor, and are causing the protectants, the natural elements, the calcification that keeps that balance, that acidic balance. It's causing the basically acidic nature of our oceans to degrade. It's causing a bleaching of the what do you call? I'm stumbling for words, but the corals. The beautiful millions of age-old. If you've never been snorkeling, these are some recovery dates and goals for you to see and open your mind to the beauty of the world that you need to receive in your heart. But you need to lift the unlimiting beliefs that's causing you to maintain this trigger from entering your life at all, whether they're present or not present. You need to get this trigger and get anchoring over it and realize how serious it is, and get to the degree that you need to understand that being distracted and being triggered is eroding your life. And it's to assign, and it's to realize that it does not make you a bad person to turn your back. So let's really quick develop some skills that can help you to anchor this person out of your life. So it's to understand that you must clear out this feeling, just like a closet or a home or a garage. You must clean that out, the negativity out, for good to enter in. The same goes as for your ecosystem, which is your body, mind, and spirit. It is to understand that there are people who are so disrespectful and so uncaring and so empathetic to people, the environment, the lifestyle, that they will exploit others, manipulation, to get what they want, especially if this creates hurt of the human spirit, which is you are part of and you are connected to. But you cannot acknowledge that divine, infinite intelligence, which is the creator of the quantum field, which is not man-made created. Man does not create the air. Man has not created the sun. Man has not created the soil, but we are a force in this area that we call the globe. And it is to understand that those people who have caused you grief, suffering, sadness, and lack, they are part of a negative force. You need to get a grip on this impact and learn as your life has evolved from the beginning moving forward. In other words, how they have hurt, how they've hindered, or how they've helped and healed. And it's to be able to have the role of metacognition, such as we're doing in the privacy of this video, to understand the negativity and the meaning that it has caused you to assign to yourself and remove those self-limiting beliefs which have caused you to be submissive to their dominance, and to clear them out and to get rid of the guilt and all the negative associations that have caused you to perpetuate this distraction and live in anxiety and live in depression and live in fear and to live in apathy and to live in guilt and all those negative disempowering emotions. And you can then expand your repertoire to understand how to shut out these distractions. It's to say, no more. I refuse to be led by this distraction, this tension. It is gone. And to have this command over your physical body. I refuse. I will not tolerate. I am disgusted by this, and I refuse to allow this to perpetuate in my life. So you need to literally, and then declare this and push it away. Literally with your hands. I refuse. Get a feeling, and then what is on the outside, and then what is on the inside. I'm doing this with my hands. I refuse. When you do this and put your hand up, didn't Oprah have something like this, back in the day, that this was the empowering state? Notice how you're using the energetic palm of your hands to push away, push away, push away, and back as well. I refuse to be distracted. When you make these statements and you make these energetic movements, you're clearing your energetic aura, the energy that is 8 to 9 feet around you. And it is to say, I refuse. And create through the palm of your hand, which is the energy, I refuse to be distracted by this manipulation. And you need to practice this. And then because then you're embracing a pure area. In other words, I own this energetically through my body, through my heart, in my subconscious mind, which is where we need to get this learning done, is in the subconscious, is then to say, I refuse to be distracted. You're giving your subconscious a command. You need to get your subconscious going in your favor. And the subconscious, you need to retrain and recondition like wood, like dry hair, like dry skin, like a flabby muscle, like a car. You need to recondition your emotional state, and you need to give that sense of purity to yourself. And so purity and positivity is what you want to create inside this whole area. When you do that, you're creating that space, that energetic space. And you're giving yourself the liberty to release and let go. You're giving yourself, it's coming from deep within you. Sometimes you might need to shout it out. You might need to practice this for 15 minutes straight. If you want to change, you need to adopt that seriousness and commitment. You need to do these things and give them to yourself in order to heal. And healing comes from all the senses, including the 6th and 7th and your higher self. So divine, infinite intelligence, think about what that means. Divine, infinite intelligence. Isn't that what you want? To give, to allow allow the professionals to step in, allow a new feeling to step in, allow a higher sense of being to step in, and allow that to move through your body energetically. People can stand taller. Your shoulders can be open. Your heart is open. That is how you create the self-trust and then allow the tools to become engaged. So to stop the trigger is to say, I refuse. I'm shutting it out. It is separate. My self-expression creates separation. And so it is to move it out and to say it is over there. It is separate and distinct from me. It does not enter into my kingdom. And I have divine, infinite, intelligent focus. And I believe that I can be filled up with this in unlimited quantities. And I know this to be the case, and that is what I understand. And that is what I expect. And sealing that in. So please write these things down. Keep them in front of you. And it's to understand that you need to understand that the distraction then is labeling that as such, and label your feelings and label that as disempowerment, and to be as brave and bold and self-valuing and lifting the lid of your self-belief even higher and stop the distraction. When this person is present and they're trying to trigger you, they're trying to catch your eye, they're trying to get you to get off course, turn your back physically. Turn your back. Practice this, and, even if it seems like you're blocking yourself, you need to expand your physical body. You need to learn how to become unsubmissive. Enlarging your space. Holding your own hands out when you're speaking to them. Giving yourself a body language that is more communicating than words, that shows you are empowered. So doing this, using hand movements that allow expression, that open up the divine infinite intelligence and get yourself moving and flowing. And you need then to also have a focus where they are not in the scope. So turning your back to them, turning your focus, turning your energy to really sculpt out around them. And it is to say, I refuse to have the ruminations, and they are stopping for me now, and I'm replacing that with empowerment. I am coming into my own, and I feel happy when. And you need to then fill in that blank with the positive and with the pictorial image. You need to reset your subconscious mind with images of what it is you want and want to have, whether it's a job, whether it's a new house, whether it's a new skill, whatever it is, you need to know what it is that you want. For example, if you want to become self-expressed and separate and disengaged from the trigger, then you need to fill your image and your vision field with what it is that you want. So whether it is an image of how you appear, or what it is that you possess, or it could be your wealth, it is a skill, and you need to fill your mind with an image, whether it's to be the best, have the best steak, whether it's to have the best stew, whether it's to bake the best bread, whether it's to paint a mural-sized painting, whether it is to have income, and whether it is to have a relationship. You need to get an image of what that is. Is it to be able to redo your bedroom, redo your bathroom, get rid of all the junk, and clear the slate? It is to give yourself the opportunity that says, I want to become the best at. And then filling that in and allowing that to empower your focus. You need to have an image, whether you look on the images at Google, whether you go and visit this in person, whether you go and touch fabrics at a sewing store, whether you go and look at the tools at a hardware store, whether it is you click on, you know, some of the ads that run here of how to write a book, how to design a website, things that stand out from you as you go through your day. Focus on what really stands out to you and what gives you empowerment. And stop the distraction every time that it comes up in micro events, mini feelings. I want you to identify and say, there it is. And then to say, I refuse to be distracted. And then turn on the positive. You need to condition yourself and coach this like a personal trainer in a gym. You know, give me 10 repetitions. Give me 10 astromations. Give me 50. Give me 50 affirmations. Shut it out. I refuse. You need to have this empowering language as part of your repertoire and to cease the distraction and shut it down. And then furthermore, if you have images and ruminations, you need to scramble it. If you see this person in your mind's eye coming at you, challenging you, scramble it like you do, you know, like a knife over a clear surface. You know, scratch it out like with, like it used to be like a needle over the record. Scratch it out so it can never play again. Those viewers who, you know what it is to have a record player, or even if you haven't ever seen a record player, you might know that there's a needle that plays and then picks up the sound in the groove. And you know, back in the day, you didn't, you know, you had to take really good care of your records. Otherwise they would skip and they wouldn't play and you'd have to throw it out. The empowerment and your emotions are very much like the same way. It is pressed on the vinyl. It's pressed on your subconscious. You have a very powerful subconscious that you don't even understand. You know, we only use a very, very tiny percentage of our brain. You need to expand that and get that out of your subconscious. And you do this also by the tool of scrambling. Take that needle, scratch it over that vinyl until it's nothing but a scratch and it cannot play again. Or like an image that you see of this person looming at you. Scramble that image with like a knife on a surface where it is all messed up and it's all marred up, and now all you see is scramble. You can do these couple exercises to get them out of your subconscious and moving through it. In other words, you know, getting them out and allowing yourself the self-expression, which creates the separation and allows you to become. But you have to know, you have to articulate what it is that you want to become. And it should be greater than who you are right now. Whether it's a feeling, whether it's experience, whether it's exercise, whether it's eating. I am open to change. And to change for me is. And I want you to do this right now. Even if it's 10 minutes, 15 minutes, clearing that out. Whether it's clearing your house, whether it's, you know, learning how to write a book, and this is what I'm going to do, or getting an appointment book and saying, I'm going to go and take care of my health, and I'm going to the doctor to take care of this, or whether it is, you know, designing a website. I want you to click on those and get a little bit of excitement and inspiration, and I want you to find that inspiration and live on it as if it is what you breathe. I want you to breathe the inspiration and do it now. Carry it through your day and see what results you get and how it causes you to then receive the support, the information, the income, the people, the professionals that you look up to rather than the distraction. And do not succumb. Do not give in. Do not give in to the distraction. Continue to condition yourself to the inspiration, the positive, orderly direction, thinking, feeling, and becoming. Whether it's getting scissors and, you know, a notebook, get those mentors, get those images, and surround yourself with them now, and then take action. It's your buddy, Peace and Harmony, with you here today, and I hope that these videos do help. Please share, please subscribe for more great tools, videos, discussion, and support. Peace out.